So hello viewers, and in this video we are going to see that how we can simulate BGP protocol inside ns-3. And if you can see on the screen, we have this packet capture that shows what are the packet that has been exchanged when we simulate BGP protocol between two devices that are running on top of Linux stack. And if not, we can also simulate this same thing on top of ns-3 stack. So how to do all those things? So we are going to see that in today's video. So yeah, without wasting much time, let's get started. So yeah, before we jump into the video on how to simulate all those things on top of ns-3 or with ns-3, so I hope that you remember this diagram. This is basically a straight transition diagram that we have seen in the last video. So because in this video, if we want to observe the BGP packets, we must need to be aware with this straight transition diagram, so we can easily get an idea that what are the packet that has been exchanged. And basically you need to just have an idea that first there will be a TCP handshake, then BGP open message, then open confirm, and then there will be certain keep alives. So those things, those basic things that you must need to remember. And if you have not watched those videos, I'll have a link over here in the I button, or you can check the link of those videos in the description box. I'll make sure to add both ways around over here in the I button or in the description. So do check out those videos if you are new to this channel, and do like and subscribe if you want to watch this kind of content. So yeah, with that, now let's move on to the ns-3. So we'll move on to our virtual machine. So yeah, now we are on our virtual machine. So if you remember in the last video where we had simulated OSPF protocol on top of Linux stack and with ns-3 DCE, so we had created a Docker container over there. And in today's video, we are going to reutilize that Docker container. So if you are not aware about that video, and if you don't have this Docker container set up for ns-3 DCE inside your virtual machine, do check out that video. And if you want to set up all these things inside Windows or Mac, I have created videos for both of those. So please do watch out that videos, and please carry forward from here after watching those videos. So let's see what things that we must need to take care of. First, we need to check that whether the Docker containers, any of the Docker containers, are running. So after you shut down your virtual machine, usually the Docker containers are shut down mode. So for us to check, we can issue this command docker ps. So as you can see that there are no Docker containers running. But if we hit this command docker ps -a, so that shows that we had this Docker container. The container ID is this, and the image name is this, so that we have created in the last video. The name of the Docker container is this, but it has exited 7 minutes ago. Now what we can do is we can restart this Docker container. So for us to do restart this Docker container, first we need to go to root user. First we need to escalate our privilege to root user. So to do that, we can use this sudo su command or sudo su minus, whatever you like. Now we can clear the terminal, and now we can use the command as shown over here. So if you want to restart your Docker container, so you can take the Docker container name. So that was the name that we have seen in the docker ps -a command, and you can use that name with docker start -i with the Docker container name. And with that, we will have the bash access to our Docker container, and this contains all the files that we might have installed in our last video. So if we go inside bake, we have source. Now we can just clear the terminal, and we can see what are the files that are there. So if you can see over here, ns-3 DCE is installed, and now we can just go inside ns-3 DCE, and we can see that what are the files that are there over here. So you can see all the scripts that we want to simulate regarding OSPF and BGP, they will be inside my scripts. So for us to easily modify and see those files, I am using this VS Code extension, which is dev containers. So that what dev containers does is it provides me the ability to edit those files that are there on my Docker container from within this VS Code. So what you need to make sure is you have this Docker extension installed in your Visual Studio Code. Now what we can do is we can just attach to any of the running container, any of the running Docker container that we want. And once the VS Code is installed or attached to the Docker container, we can edit those files from over here. So as you can see, from within our VS Code, we are connected to ns-3 DCE environment. So that is the Docker container running on our virtual machine. Now we can see all the files that are there inside our Docker container. So what we need to do is we need to go inside ns-3 DCE. From here we can go to my scripts. From here we can go to ns-3 DCE Quagga, and from here we can go to examples, and you can see all these files that are very important for us to explore. So in last video we had explored this ospfd, so DCE Quagga ospfd.cc file. Now in this video we'll explore this DCE Quagga bgpd.cc file. So this file basically simulates the BGP protocol between two devices by default. If we want to incorporate more devices, we can use these parameters that are mentioned over here, which is end node. Then we can also provide this top 10, and we can also provide the net stack. So basically we have two net stack, which is ns-3 and Linux. So by default, if you see over here, by default it executes on Linux file. So I had an test run for this file, and all those files that are generated from the simulation of by running this DCE Quagga BGP d.cc file, so those has generated this two pk file. So this is bgpd 0-0.pk file and 1-0.pk file. So that is basically the packet capture for both of the devices that are there on the file, or that are there on our scripts, right? And what I did is I copied those files onto my machine, my virtual machine, so that we can easily open this inside the Wireshark, because on Docker container we can't easily observe this file inside the Wireshark. But since we have this file copied over here, so that we can open in the Wireshark. Now what we can do is, if we want to run this file on top of let's say we want to run this file on top of ns-3 net stack, so we can do one thing. We can go to our container, and from the root folder of ns-3 DCE, what we can do is we can use this command called /swap-run, and then the file name. So in our case the file name is DCE Quagga bgpd.cc. So what we can do is we can just copy this file name from over here, we can paste this, and with that we can have this parameter or the command line argument. So that is we can see over here, so that is net stack. So we can copy this parameter, the command line argument name, then we can paste it over here, and is equal to, we can say ns-3. So that is the value that we have inside code over here mentioned, right? So now what we can do is we can hit enter. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to pass it in a different way. So we can copy the file name again. Now we can paste it over here. Sorry, we need to copy the file name bgpd. So copy. Now over here we can paste it. Now we need to pass it in such a way that it is in a single string. So now inside the quotes we can put it like this: net stack is equals to ns-3. And now we can just wait for the file to be built and executed, and then after we can observe the packet capture files. So we'll see you after this execution finishes. So as you can see on the screen that the execution has been successful, and we have these two files generated. So from here we can see, or not from here, so here you can see bgp d-0 and bgpd-1-0. We can also see it like this. We can do ls -l. So you can see these two files are generated. Now what we can do is, in order to observe these files inside Wireshark, so as these are packet capture files, so we can copy this file from our Docker container to a virtual machine. And in order to do that, we can use this command, which is called docker cp, and then followed by the container name colon the file path, so that is the file path, and we can paste it inside the designated folder. So in my case, I am currently inside the BGP so ns-3 DCE docker slash BGPD folder, and inside that I have a folder called ns-3 stack. So I'll paste this file over to my ns-3 stack folder. So you can see successfully copied. Now the other one is -1-0. So both of the files are successfully copied. Now we can, let's open the file that we had generated for the ns-3 stack and we had generated for the Linux stack. So the same comparison that we did earlier in OSPF-D video. So we will open 0-0. So this is a file that has been generated for Linux stack, and now we can open from ns-3 stack the same 0-0. So as you can see on the screen, you can I'll just minimize this files like this. The other file, I'll minimize this file like this, and we'll observe this side by side. So you can see first file and second file like this. So you can see this file is generated on ns-3 stack, and this is generated on top of Linux stack by simulating our BGP protocol on top of Linux and on top of ns-3 stack. So you can, by just looking at these two files, you can see that IGMP or not IGMP, ICMPv6 messages are not here in the ns-3 stack. So when we simulated the BGP protocol on top of ns-3 stack. So we had a reason for this in OSPF simulation also, that if you have not watched, please watch those videos. And now coming to for observing the packet captures. So by the time you watch this video, I hope that you know that first we will have a TCP handshake. So in both of this message, you will see that this is the TCP handshake. So these three are the TCP handshake. So you can see over here also. So if I'll just expand this, so you will see that this is the SYN package, this is the SYN-ACK, and this is the acknowledgement. So this is the traditional TCP handshake. Over here also on top of ns-3 stack, you will also see SYN, SYN-ACK, and acknowledgement. So these three are the three-way handshake messages. Afterwards, as we seen in that diagram, so the first message that is sent after the TCP connection establishment, that is the open message. Over here also we will have an open message. So let me just do like this, and you can see after the TCP handshake we have the open message, and after the open message has been exchanged, we will have certain keep alive. So we are not currently exchanging the routes, but this is the update message that will basically exchange the let's see what is the packets, what are the update message that is exchanged. So you can see these are the directly connected networks. So those are getting exchanged. So basically it will exchange both the devices, two devices, they will exchange the interface address, that is the way they are directly connected to. And after that you will have per time interval per second, you will have this keep alive message. So every 60 seconds you will have this keep alive message. And yeah, over here also you will see the same structure. So yeah, that's literally it for the BGP simulation. There are a couple of other files on BGP on OSPF that you can explore by yourself. And yeah, if you want me to make a video on that, please do comment. We'll explore more such files, and we'll explore how we can simulate OSPF and other protocols, other routing files that are there on the ns-3 DCE. And yeah, if you have any doubts regarding this video, how to set up this Docker container and how to set up this particular extension that we used dev containers to connect to a Docker container and live edit these files, just do let me know in the comments. I'll happy to address all these doubts. And for this video, I think that's it. I hope you have got the idea about how we can simulate BGP protocol on top of virtual machine using ns-3 DCE. So yeah, that's it for this video. We'll meet in the next one. Till then, keep learning and keep exploring.